A Chinook helicopter that crashed in Scotland more than 30 years ago, killing 29 people, was being flown as a show flight to prove to the army it was safe, according to a former RAF test pilot. Families of those who died in the crash have renewed their call for a full public inquiry into what went wrong. Here's our correspondent, David Henderson.
Wreckage on a burnt-out hillside on the Mull of Kintyre. All that was left of an RAF Chinook helicopter flying from Northern Ireland to Inverness. Everyone on board, all 4 crew members and 25 passengers, perished in the crash. And more than 3 decades on, it's still not clear how it happened. But today, a former test pilot told us there were concerns at the time that this new type of Chinook, the Mark II, was not airworthy, and this was a show flight by the Royal Air Force to prove otherwise.
The RAF wanted to demonstrate that the aircraft was safe and they could put their most trusted and valuable list of passengers in the context of the security operation in Northern Ireland on board altogether. What a silly decision.
The helicopter crash came at the height of the Troubles in Northern Ireland, and among the 29 passengers on board were intelligence experts leading the fight against the Provisional IRA, as well as senior members of the military and the police.
Totally sickening to think that my dad, along with those other individuals, were basically guinea pigs, showcasing an aircraft that was positively dangerous, that was deemed unairworthy in previous tests, and they were sent anyway.
At first, the pilots were blamed for the crash for flying too low and too fast, but they were later cleared.
I think it's time that the MOD came out with the truth.
Several families have called for a full public inquiry, but last week the Prime Minister ruled that out, saying it's unlikely it would identify any new evidence or reach new conclusions. The family's lawyer disagrees.
It's frankly incredible that 31 years on, we still haven't looked at what was known about the airworthiness of that particular aircraft. It's been excluded from all the previous inquiries. And indeed, when there was a crash in Afghanistan some years ago, they did include the airworthiness of the plane within the terms of reference. But that's been excluded in relation to these families.
So those families will now try to challenge the decision not to hold an inquiry, in the hope the truth about what happened here may finally emerge.
And David is with us now. David, as you say in your report, for the families of those who were on board, this is certainly not over.
No, indeed. I mean, they've been seeking answers for 3 decades now, so they think that their fight for justice must go on. Last week came that decision from the UK government not to order a judge-led public inquiry, and that's because UK ministers say it's unlikely that any such inquiry would reveal new evidence or reach new conclusions based on the evidence which already exists. And they also point to the fact that this crash has been the subject of 6 inquiries and investigations so far, including a judge-led independent review. But as we've heard there, the family's lawyers say that all these inquiries to date have not been able to ask that one key question, which was there a problem with the helicopter at the outset, which put the crew and the passengers at risk? And they also want to take a look at official documents, official papers, which have been sealed for 100 years. So they're seeking permission to challenge the government's decision in court. The problem is that the wheels of justice grind slowly. So the earliest that this judicial review could be heard in court is about a year from now.
OK, David, many thanks indeed. Tonight's main news again.